going on, Jerome's? So I know we sound like a broken record sometimes when we talk about the national media jabroni haircuts and their biased-ass opinions, not only against the Minnesota Vikings, but any Minnesota sports team in general, right? They always thumb their nose, push down on the scale against Minnesota sports because they see it as jabroni rube, flyover country, blah, 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 blah. It's basically Canada, and the coastal bias. Like, oh, you got to be in New York if you want to be marketable. You got to be in LA if you want to brand. Like, the national media honestly treats major markets like it's 1970. Like it's Mad Men BS. Like, oh, you have to be on the coast because they're the only places that have, I don't know, commercial opportunities. Like the internet doesn't exist anymore. It's ridiculous, man. But long story longer, so the national media hates, they abhor the fact that Anthony Edwards, superstar, face of the NBA, is happy here in Minnesota, signed his long-term extension. He's only 22 years young and is quickly becoming Michael frickin' Jordan, and they can't stand it. They can't stand that he is happy in the great state of Minnesota. They can't stand that he's going to bring this great state silverware, Larry O'Brien trophy, and all that stuff. They can't handle it. And with Justin Jefferson, all of the talk was, well, Justin Jefferson could be traded during the draft, blah, blah, blah. Zero. Goose egg, D'Angelo Russell. None of that has come from Justin Jefferson or the team. Right? This isn't a spot where the receivers putting out cryptic things on the Twitters and the Instagrams. This isn't a thing about speculation. There isn't that. Right? The Vikings are going to get a long-term extension done with Justin Jefferson, and he's going to bring a dozen Lombardies to the Vikings in the next 10 years. And again, they can't stand it. They can't stand that the Vikings have Jefferson and the Wolves have Anthony Edwards, and two legitimate superstars are going to bring titles to the great state of Minnesota and play their entire prime here in the North Star State. They can't handle it. Can't handle it. Again, long story longer, getting into Craig Carton. So I know what you're saying. Who the hell is Craig Carton? And the reason why we always rage against the national media jabroni haircut machine, even though Carton has no hair, so he's not a haircut, and also he's been to jail, so whatever. But the whole thing about it is that Joe 12-pack out there, they get their opinion on Minnesota sports from the national media, because not everyone pays attention to the Vikings. Not everyone pays attention to the Wolves. They're only on national television like 6 times this year, something ridiculous like that. So it's kind of interesting seeing the entire world wake up to, oh, Anthony Edwards is really good. Like, he's an emerging superstar. Bitch, he's been a superstar for years. But the whole thing about it is, like, I mean, Craig Carton, his stupid show is on FS1. So it's on national sports television, and he is I don't want to say revered, but he is a voice that is out there on the national airwaves. And Carton used to host the morning show with Boomer Esiason, a.k.a. father of Chris Sims. So, but Carton show. So they put this out and they double down on it, and this is just a symptom of a larger disease that the media has with Minnesota sports. You're going to lose Anthony Edwards, right? So talking about how the Wolves beat that ass against the Nuggets game 1 and are going to do it again tonight. Go up 2-0 against the defending champs and the alleged MVP in Jokic. Hashtag not my MVP. But it devolved into, well, you're going to lose Anthony Edwards, even though Edwards already signed his max extension, even though Edwards says that he loves it here in Minnesota, and he's going to stay here unless they trade him. So I think they're good. And they doubled down on this, too, because they think that I don't think this is accomplishing what they think it's accomplishing. All right, so I'm just going to drop this right here. To leave Minnesota, Kevin Garnett, David Ortiz, Kevin Love, Torrey Hunter, Randy Moss, Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs, the Lakers franchise. So a couple things. Number one, Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was basically forced out. He wanted to stay here and win. They wouldn't build a team around him, and Glenn Taylor basically forced KG out. And KG went to Boston. Respect, won the title with Pearson, Ray, all that stuff. David Ortiz was nothing. He was Naza. David Ortiz was still David Arias when he was with the Twins here. So whatever. He went to Boston and won a couple titles. The same thing with Kevin Garnett. Whatever. Kevin Love. Sure. I mean, Kevin Love was very good, but being able to trade him helped build up the talent pool of this franchise moving forward, right? And through fits and starts, eventually the basketball Vikings got cat through various deals. It's fine. Torrey Hunter, whatever. I mean, Torrey Hunter, he got paid somewhere else. They had Denard Span. Yeah, you're good. Randy Moss. So Randy was basically done. He went to the Raiders, proved that he was done. Then went to the Patriots, proved that he wasn't done. And then came back to the Vikings, proved that he was done again. And then he went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers, which is kind of weird, man. Kirk Cousins, whatever. That's all. Stephon Diggs, he wanted out. It is what it is. And the Vikings also got Justin friggin' Jefferson through the Stephon Diggs trade. So it seemed to work out. The Lakers franchise, I'm sorry that Sid Hartman couldn't keep the Lakers in town. The GM of the Lakers. But, hey, after George Mikan came through, they're like, oh, what are we going to do? We can't draw because the entire league couldn't draw. And also, it's not like L.A. was the basketball mecca that it is now, because Jerry West recalls that they had to go around on the back of flatbed trucks trying to sell season tickets down at the Piggly Wiggly. Nah. So, again, this is not the own that they think it is, but again, that's how stupid the national media thinks that you are. Being a Minnesota sports fan, they think that, oh, all of the stars leave because that's what they do when they go to a major market so they can capitalize. Please. But again, just waiting for the Jefferson extension, because Anthony Edwards, superstar, face of the league at 22, already signed his long-term extension with the Timberwolves. And also Jefferson is going to be locked in here long-term. And the media, again, they can't stand that two superstars, two future first ballot Hall of Famers. They love it. They love it here in Minnesota, and they're going to bring championships to their respective teams. And the media, they hate it. They absolutely hate it, man. That's right. But anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Craig Carton and the national media jabroni haircuts just shat all over themselves again, like my 2-year-old. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.